Action.
Hello, my presentation is on how parents perceive adolescent sexual behavior. And I pinpointed my study in Greene County, Illinois, mainly because I live there and I see where parents really do not understand children. Rural areas are always higher in pregnancy rates than urban areas, and sexual transmitted diseases have become one of the bigger spreaders in rural areas because they change partners a lot. While in urban areas, it's more grounded and they go to other areas. In my lib review, we found that 900,000 pregnancies on teen pregnancies every year. 700,000 abortions for teens are yearly done. The first 6 months is the highest risk rate, mostly because parents, it takes 6 months for adolescents to get up the courage to ask for birth controls. Parents, how a parent looks at sexuality goes to what their children are going to look at sexuality. So if a parent is ashamed of sexuality, then that child's not going to talk about it. However, if you're in the lit review, we found that people that were open with the sexuality, their children were more likely to go to them and talk to them about sex. With the methods, we did the survey design, 25 questions. We put them on Facebook. It was designed to be collected at eSurvey. The data was collected in Microsoft Excel and SPSS. The variables were more independent and dependent by mixing them together. I wanted to see how parents would teach their children. I wanted to understand if they talk to their children. I wanted to know if they were teen parents, to see if that made a difference on how they looked at the sexual education for their children. In my findings, I found that 79% of their parents do talk to their children more than twice a year. 94% of the parents said that their adolescents learned about sexual behavior from them. 80% of the adolescent parents felt they did not need any education on adolescent sexual behavior, which is kind of funny because the ones that said this were the ones that were teen pregnant. So while their adolescents are not getting the education, for they don't feel like they need education. Parents said they did not need more education, missed an average of 3.8 questions on the true and false quiz, while the parents who said they did need more education only missed about 2.5 questions. 31% of the parents believe that they have all the facts of adolescent sexual behavior. However, the study did find that the knowledge of adolescent sexual behavior is twisted, with a lot of facts and myths all mixed together. While it also indicates what is learned as an adolescent, adult carries with them. So when they learn it as in school or from their parents, that's what they believe when they're teaching their own children 20 years down the road. Parents should always check adolescent sexual behavior every year because the facts on how things are, sexual diseases, the pregnancy rates change every year. There really wasn't a lot of parents that I was able to get to, but I really think the best way to get these findings out, to get people to see the facts, is from 7th grade all the way through senior year in high school. When the parents sign you up for school, you know those little knowledge, technology things the parents have to read and sign. Parents need to do that about sexual education. Right then, it's easy, it's quick, and it would already be over with. Another fact I wanted to throw in, just because they did have an article in the paper the other day on 33 or 36 kids being pregnant at the high school here in Jacksonville. Jacksonville is actually 5% less than Greene County when it comes to your average teenage pregnancy this year. So you got 36 here. How many do you have there in Greene County, which is a small area? The smaller schools, not as many people. And that also brings up how fast the STDs are spreading, because the more that we do not notice these kids having sex, the more this STD just spreads. So, pretty much on mine. I hate those things.
Questions?
What was your sample size of like the parents?
My sample size was only 16.
16.
So I really didn't have as much as I'd like. I did find that I sent out emails to the library and drugstores because they said they'd send it. Nobody got back to me, but the email link that we had to eSurvey did not open the survey for them to post it for me. So I only ended up with the Facebook ones.
Quick question. So you found that those parents who were pregnant teens themselves also were ones that were getting questions wrong.
Yes.
And had myths myths that they were acting on. What's your assessment of why that's happening, or what we could do to improve that?
That's where the adolescence, what we learn as adolescents, comes with us as we grow up. And if we're not gathering new information on a yearly basis, we keep what we learn as a teenager. And this is why those parents that were pregnant while they were teenagers think they know now all the sexual needs that are out there with their children.
Very good. Thank you very much.